Welcome back to How to Souls. My name is Rach, and today we're going to continue with our walkthrough of Dark Souls Remastered. So last time we conquered the catacombs, and now we're going to go into the deep, dark, very, very dark Tomb of the Giants. So for this, we did Lost Izalith first, which means we were able to pick up the Sunlight Maggot. So we're going to be wearing this pretty much this whole area, which lights it up for us nicely without having to use the lantern, which does take away our shields or our ability to two-hand our weapons. So that's why I prefer the Sunlight Maggot. There are a number of really nice things, nice sparkly treasures that you can find in this area. But however, it's a horrible area, and I'm just going to be showing you the fastest, safest way to get through it. Oh, not ideal. Got lucky there. Yeah, these big skeletons don't respawn like the little ones do, but they are very powerful. And you can hear we've got one that does have a bow shooting at us. So we've got to make our way down these tombstone lids until we find Mr. Patches once again. So before you go over to his sparkly, colourful prism stones, I want you to turn round. Behind this skeleton is a ladder. So if we go down this ladder, there is a bonfire here. This is the first bonfire of the Tomb of the Giants, and this is the one that you can warp to. So if you've got any other business throughout the world, you can now go off and do that if you wish. And you can warp back here, no bother. I'm just going to pop a couple of souls here and see if we can get another level. Perfect. All right, cool. So I'm going to put this into vitality. I find anything over 20 is like fantastic, but I tend to be okay with 20. All right, so Patches, trusty Patches. He already tried to kill us once. He wouldn't do it again, would he? His head is proper glowing from the light of my hat.
What, you again? Well, you've been a stranger. It's good to see you well, my darling. All right. You came at the perfect time. There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first, but we're friends now. I'll split it with you, in any case. Have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
So again with the evil laugh. He has different dialogue depending on whether you told him you're a cleric or not. Oh, actually, he's right. There are some pretty shiny things down here. Let's get a better look. Oh. So, as soon as you go near this coloured prism stone, he'll kick you off. I see. So, well, we may as well pick up the treasure. So you get a soul. There's a skull lantern. We actually already got one, so this is our second one. And another soul. So we're now down here and we have to make our way back up above before we can proceed. So over here you can see Rhea of Thorland. We first saw her in Firelink Shrine, but now she's down here. So it turns out her two friends that we saw her with, her two chunky bodyguards, have come down here, perished, and they've awoken hollow. She's hiding from them. They are just up ahead on the left here, so we will have to go and take them out. So we'll just go ahead and do that for her and proceed with her quest line. Because I initially started off as a Miracles character, I was preparing to to do Rhea's questline in full, but we've sort of moved away from that since getting the Black Knight sword, and we're more of a like strength character now. But if you are a medical user, rejoice, because this is your lassie. So we've got 2 of these hollows coming up here. They are formidable foes. They have medicals themselves. There's one. So they've got pretty large paws, because they chonky. I'm going to make sure they don't go too close to Rhea and hurt her. Although they are. Oh, for goodness sake, you're going to hurt Rhea! Come back here then. Fabs, that's 1 down. And 2 down. Fantastic. Again, wasn't particularly tidy, but the job got done. So they don't drop loot, just souls. And then if we go and tell her we did what had to be done.
You banished those 2 hollows, did you? It pains me to think of the trouble my failings have caused. I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much. Here, these belonged to them. You deserve them more than I.
Oh, thank you. Replenishment. She said them as if she was meant to give you more than one thing, but it's probably just an error.
I am certain that...
So this progresses her questline. She will now become a medical merchant for us in the Undead Parish, which is way, way back. We'll need to warp there, and I'll show you after we do this area, okay? But do be aware, if you're wanting to buy her medicals from her, you'll need to go to the parish pretty much right after we face Nito. Because if you take too long to go and see her, she does die. Alrighty. So, a couple of these like sort of skeleton tower things. They drop the white titanite chunks. And then over here we have the ladder that takes us out of this hole. There will be an illusory wall we can break through that will get us back round to where Patches was, where we can demand some kind of explanation from him, perhaps. He's such a ball bag. So there's the bonfire down there, and Patches right here.
Oh, you. Well, let's just calm down. Talk about things. I did you wrong, but I didn't mean it. These temptations, they can, well, overcome me. You know what I mean, don't you? Please, forgive me. You and me, we're jolly undead outcasts, aren't we?
Well, I do believe that everyone deserves a second chance.
Oh, brilliant. A second chance. Wonderful. I had a feeling you'd understand. I did. But, if I were in your shoes, who knows what I'd have done. But now we're friends again. Eh?
So we said yes there because I misremembered. If you say no to him, meaning that you don't forgive him, he gives you another gift, which I've hacked up. But never mind. It's maybe just another humanity. I can't remember. I will fact check that for you and put it on screen now. So with Patches forgiven, Rhea sorted out, we can proceed through here, past the pit. In the darkness, you can see these sort of dog skeletons. They are a bit of a pain to fight, so I do like to just run past this one. He will follow you though, so you have to be pretty speedy. Stick to the right-hand side. Go to the left-hand side of this one and drop down. Okay, from there, turn around and proceed back the way you came. Down this area here to find the next bonfire. So this is the second bonfire of Tomb of the Giants. You can rest if you want. And then you will respawn here. However, I actually find it a little easier to proceed from the previous bonfire. But just to make you aware, that's where that one is there. This dog skeleton is probably kicking about here now. Nope, we're good. So we can proceed down here. Stick to the edge, but don't fall off. Stick to the right. And down this hole here. Once again, stick to the right. And that is it. That is Tomb of the Giants. So that was it. I sort of did that quite quickly. So hopefully you were following. That is the easiest way to make it through. Because we're in human form now, we're going to come up against Paladin Leroy. Is going to invade us right here. At the end of this here. So he has Wrath of the Gods Miracle there, which I just interrupted. Oh my days. And a giant hammer, which could do me some real damage if it managed to hit me. Whew. So Leroy is actually a summon for the Pinwheel boss fight. So the fact that he now then invades you here is very interesting. You can see some real nice scenery up ahead. This area is like weirdly beautiful. So with him taken down, we can now continue into the deep, deep depths of the Tomb of the Giants. If you want, you can put your regular helmet back on. Just there. If it has more defense than the Sunlight Maggot, because this next cave is bright enough to see. We will have a couple of these skeleton towers just emerging silently from the ground, or maybe it came out of the left ear. I've only got the right ear in at the minute. But yeah, I find the sounds are being a little silly here. We can take these down super quickly. This one actually just goes down on its own. So we are free to instead focus on the skeletons. Almost rolled off the edge there, just ignore that. May as well take the souls from that one. Once we get through here, we will fight several of the Pinwheel bosses, but they're just like regular enemies. They're all going to be casting magic at us, and it can be a bit of a pain to try and avoid. However, I'll show you the way that I like to do it. It's just to stick to the left here and wait for the first couple of fire bombs to come, and then roll off the edge here, past this one, and then up the stairs, past this one, just ignoring everything, and through this fog. As soon as you start the animation for going through the fog, you're invulnerable, so you won't get hit by fire coming from behind you. Alright, so now this is us heading towards Gravelord Nito, so bear in mind that you've done all you need to do. If you want Rhea, that you've rescued her. If you wanted the Gravelord Covenant, that you've done that, because we're hopefully going to kill him first try. Couple things of note for Nito is that he has some skeletons in the arena with him. So 3 of which will attack us right off the bat, just little skeletons. And there are 4 more big skeletons at the back of the room, which we do not want to aggro. So there's a couple ways you can sort of go about this. Just stay near the spawn point, which can get tricky because the boss has an AoE. Or you can use a ring called the Ring of Fog. You can get this by trading one of your skull lanterns, because I actually picked up 2. We have the Sunlight Maggot, so even if you only have 1, you don't really need it. Trade your skull lantern with Sparkly the Crow, Snuggly the Crow, I forget which one's which. And he will give you the Ring of Fog, which is very, very powerful for this boss fight. So now that I've just shown you how to get here, what I'm going to do, just because I did get here really quickly, is I am going to now take us back to the Undead Asylum, and we are going to pick up that Ring of Fog, and we're going to do Tomb of the Giants again, just because I feel like I sort of ran through it all really quickly, because I really hate this area and I'm used to doing it really quickly. So I think maybe if I just do it one more time for you guys, that might help a little bit. Right, unfortunately we cannot warp to the Undead Asylum. That would be too good, wouldn't it? So we're going back to Firelink Shrine. We are using the lift there to travel back to the Undead Asylum. If you want Rhea, go ahead and go all the way up the lift. I tell you what, yeah, let's do that. Let's have a little break from flipping Tomb of the Giants for a bit. And I'll show you where she becomes a merchant. Just up here in the Undead Parish. So the thing is with her quests, it's a bit tricky because a lot of the stuff she sells costs a lot of souls. And you're going to want to buy everything from her if you want to save her. Because Petrus down there is, he's not a good boy. He actually really wants Rhea dead. I don't really know why. So if you make too much progress, if you kill any more bosses, before you buy all of her miracles from her, Petrus will come up here and he will kill her. So you can find her here just praying at the altar that did have a Firekeeper soul on it once upon a time.
Hello. I will never forget what you did. I am deeply indebted, for it was not within my power to save Vince or Nico. I cannot thank you enough. In case you have not heard, I am Rhea of Thorland. I only wish there was some way I could help you. But I am inexperienced and I only know the art of miracles. If that could be of any help, speak to me again.
I mean, miracles are good if you're going for platinum or if you have a miracle-based character. So yeah, absolutely, Les.
Would a miracle be of any help to you? I would be most pleased if that was so. May we discuss miracles then?
She's so cute. So she allows you to join the Way of White Covenant if you like. She sells Heal, Great Heal Excerpt, Homeward, Force, Great Heal, Wrath of the Gods, Seek Guidance, Magic Barrier. You have to buy all of these to get her to move, if I'm not mistaken. One which I do really quite fancy is Wrath of the Gods. However, it requires 28 faith to use. A ridiculously powerful miracle that pushes away everything around you and also does a decent amount of damage to it. So, very good. I have neglected my faith, and I only have 14 faith. And I've come here with only 30,000 souls, so I don't know if that is enough to buy everything. But I'm just going to go ahead and give it a go. Ah, yes, I'm a little short. Oh no, I've managed it! Oh my goodness! I managed it! Woo! 31k to buy everything. Exactly. Yeah, Talisman, Divine Blessing. No need to buy those. So I've literally cleaned her out.
Then be safe. Farewell, Rhea Nox.
I don't know if she has a kind of dialogue to confirm that we have actually progressed her quest.
Vince and Nico were fooled by a lout named Hatches and turned into hollows. My prayers did them no good. It is my ignorance, my frailty that has sealed their fates. Perhaps Petrus realized my weakness all along, and thus made the decision to abandon me. I can hardly blame him now.
So there you go, that's what happened to them when they went down to the catacombs together. He abandoned her to death. So she hasn't actually confirmed that because we've bought all of her miracles that she will now move on, but she does move on. She gives you no clue as to where she's going. Perhaps it's Petrus that gives you a clue. But she's going to the Duke's archives. But yeah, do make sure that you do manage to get all those miracles from her if you want them to use, or if you want them for the platinum. You'll need to do that before you kill any more bosses. Alright, so we're heading back to the Undead Asylum now with our Skull Lantern. We're going to get the Ring of Fog, which is going to make Gravelord Nito much easier boss fight. Well, not so much the boss mechanics don't change, but it does mean that we are much less likely to anger those great big skeletons at the back of the room, and in my opinion it just makes the whole fight a lot easier to deal with, because you are not worrying about how far away you're running from him. He does have a really big AoE attack that you don't really want to have to worry about avoiding. You want to be able to just run away and not worry about hitting the other skeletons. So over here to the nest. Warm and soft. You want something warm? You want something soft? What about a lantern? That's pretty warm and creates a soft light, I guess. You like that? Yeah? Okay, so we'll reload to get our trade. This is the case in Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls, but I think they changed it in 2 and 3. Ring of Fog! Alright, okay. So now if you want, you can homeward bone back to Firelink Shrine. That sounds good to me. Nice and quick and easy. While we're back here again, if you haven't done already, you can pick up the Peculiar Doll. I did show you how to get into the Painted World, however, we haven't run through that yet. Sort of running short on time for Elden Ring. So, we'll go there eventually. We have picked up the Rite of Kindling, which now means we can kindle bonfires to a maximum of 20. So Firelink Shrine is one of those bonfires you're definitely going to want to kindle. We're going to use this quite a bit. So there we go. We've gotten it to +3, 20 Estus flasks. Very nice. It does sort of start to cost a lot of humanity if you start kindling all bonfires to 20. But it's worth doing for a couple that you know you're going to use a lot. This one and Orlando, etc. are definitely worth kindling. Okay, so we've done everything we wanted to do there. Went and spoke to Rhea, bought all of her medicals, and then we went back to the Undead Asylum and traded for the Ring of Fog. We are now going to warp back to the Tomb of the Giants bonfire. This is the first bonfire beside Patches. If he's still alive, if you didn't murder him. Gonna need to put my little sunlight maggot back on my head. I'm gonna do a little bit of admin here and just pop the helms that I am not using into the bottomless box, because I'm gonna try and do the Symbol of Avarice cheat by putting it on right at the end to get the bonus souls from it. Alright, got my sparkly hat back. So I'm going to do the Tomb of the Giants quick run back to the boss. I don't really have a name for it. So we keep to the right here, stick to the wall for the first one. And then as we get through here, past this pillar, you're going to want to peel away from the wall a little bit, past this dog on the left, drop down here into the corner, turn around, run back the way. Go down this path here. Stick to the wall on the right. Stick, right. Down again. And straight ahead, down the hole. And then you're in the clear. So, I know it's a lot, but once you do it a couple of times and you get used to it, it is the quickest way through this area. Much quicker and much safer than actually fighting all of the enemies. The dogs especially. Oh, I've managed to get this little crystal lizard here. And I've managed to miss it completely. I didn't need it. I was dreaming. I was thinking I should probably just change my helm back. I wasn't really thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and switch rings here. And I'm going to put on the Ring of Fog, which gives you this lovely, like, translucent, like, ness. As an effect, just to remind you that, you know, you are much harder to see now, which is interesting. It really does affect this next boss very positively. This archer didn't see me for ages. The pinwheels, I think, are still going to give me a similarly annoying time. I've had Havel's ring on this whole time without actually needing to wear it, but it's okay. So once again, just rolling past these. There's a couple fun things you can pick up in this area. But, you know, have fun with that. I'll let you do that. You don't need me to talk you through that. So we have arrived in Nito's room. The last bonfire I rested at was actually Firelink Shrine. We didn't rest at the Tomb of the Giants, and that is because I kindled Firelink Shrine to 20 Estus. So we've got a nice 20 Estus for coming into this boss fight, which I do recommend. Don't do this fight with 5. Because as soon as we drop down here, we're going to lose a considerable amount of health and we'll have to heal right at the start. So you're already a heal down. What's going to happen here is going to be a little bit different to normal because we're wearing the Ring of Fog. So we're going to want to be aware that we are going to be dealing with the little skeletons. So we will need to try and down them with the Divine Club. Which means that I might be medium rolling, but it's worth the trade-off because we do not want these little skeletons to keep respawning. They just make your life they just make this fight very annoying. So I've got the Divine Club that I'm going to start out with, and we're going to aim to try and be the person... we're going to aim to try and be the one that kills the skeletons, not Nito. If Nito does kill them with his AoEs or his sword attacks, it does get rid of them for about 5 seconds before they respawn. So hopefully if we concentrate on the little skeletons first, it'll be us that gets them down, not Nito. This boss is notorious for, as soon as we drop down here, for doing his Gravelord sword dance type attack. So what that is he will stab his own sword into the ground, and that will cause a medical sword to come out of the ground and hit me. This is very hard to dodge. It requires very precise timing, but you can always tell when it's coming because you will hear the boss scream. So hopefully he does that, and I can get to show you sort of the timing on that. But just to start off, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chill out, fight the boss, hopefully show you some of his attacks, and then I'm going to record a voiceover for this later, because I am finding recording this and talking about it at the same time kind of tricky. So I'm just going to fight Nito, and I'm going to leave you with future Rachel to talk you through what's happening. Okay, good luck, guys. Alright, so as we drop in here, as you can see, I have lost a bit of health. I immediately healed, and the only reason I healed is because 1, ring of fog, so the skeletons didn't immediately swarm me, and 2, the boss did not immediately scream. He is known to immediately do his scream. If he does that, I do not heal because I'm just going to get hit by it. I will instead dodge it and then heal when it's safe. So, ring of fog makes sure, like I said, that the skeletons that are with him do not sort of swarm us right away. They're actually taking too long to get to me, so I've sort of teased them a little bit by coming up to the boss, just getting a little hit in there, just sort of getting a little feel for it. Right away here, he is starting to do his AoE attack. Now this is the sort of dangerous attack that, well, yes, it takes out the skeletons for me, but I wanted to be the one to take out the skeletons, so it's actually a pain in the bum. Here's his Gravelord sword dance. So I wait until his weapon is just about to come down before I then dodge out of the way. That is the timing for that. With Nito, you cannot attack his back. The sort of purple cloak that he wears blocks all attacks, physical, magic, or otherwise. So you have to attack him from the front. As you can see here, I have decided I wasn't able to outrange the AoE attack, so I've chosen instead to hold out my crest shield to block the magic damage. Here I go in here and try and take out one of the skeletons, but I fumble and I actually do not manage it. He is charging up another AoE, so I've decided to just sort of make sure I'm in position to block that. Again, because I'm using the crest shield, this is a very viable way to deal with this AoE. If you do not have the Ring of Fog, you didn't want it for whatever reason, you can just block his AoE. And that does mean that you don't have to go too far into the arena and pull the larger skeletons. So here I do manage to get the 2 skeletons down with my Divine Club, which is great. I think I try and show off it. Yeah, so you see at the back of the room there, those are the big skeletons. There's 2 on that side and then 2 on the other side. So those, I think if I wasn't wearing the Ring of Fog, they would have maybe been aggroed there. I was quite close to them. So Nito, like I said, you can't attack him from the back, but you can attack his front. Just attack the bony bit, basically, is a good way to remember it. His big sword that he attacks with is not that dangerous when you are right up at his feet. I find that most of his attacks just sail right over your head, but then he does obviously have this AoE attack that you do need to sort of outrange. Get back to him as quick as possible. And rinse and repeat, to be honest. Just make sure you don't go too close to the back of the room. And you are able to either stand your ground and block with a full bar of stamina, very worth pointing out if you didn't realize you do need stamina to be able to block an attack. So if you start blocking with no stamina, you'll take all the damage. I could have probably gone for the kill there, but I think I decided to just be safe. Block this. And then go in for the kill here. Oh no, I decided to show you one more Gravelord Sword Dance dodge. Took me a little bit to get used to the timing on dodging that. If it hits you, it does do toxic damage, so you're going to want to try and get the timing on dodging that. And that is GG. Hi, it's me, Present Rachel. I hope you enjoyed the a little bit different. I thought I would try just like a voiceover for that fight, and I gotta say I found it a lot easier to concentrate. I'm learning a lot recording this walkthrough. Anyway, that was a very enjoyable fight. That went very well. There was a couple slip-ups there, but I feel like I handled it in a way that showed you the best way to handle it. So I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed fighting it. With Nito down, we have our third Lord Soul, a bonfire here that we can rest at and level up. Oh, damn, I forgot the symbol of avarice again. I was so chuffed with how well that fight went. I completely forgot. Oh well, no worries. Yeah, Ring of Fog, like I said, just really helps me sort of relax on this fight, really. I'm just going to pop the Ring of Steel Protection on for now because I think we're good for fast rolling without Havel's Ring. Bloop. Yep. Cool. All right. So that was Tomb of the Giants. That was Nito. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative, and I hope I'm able to help you get past this rather tricky area. I did miss a couple things, including a really powerful ring, the Silver Serpent Ring. So if you're interested in how to get that, you can check out my video here where I talk through how to do that. Otherwise, remember to subscribe for more walkthroughs and tips videos on all types of Souls games just like this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.